Good afternoon, it's Robz here, and welcome to week 20. This week's going to be a little bit different because, A, it's kind of a slower week. I did a long run last week of about 21 miles, and so this week I had two 45-minute runs, and I'm about to go out for my 6-mile run right now. I kind of bunched them back to back, so I'm a little sore, probably going to take it a little slower here. What makes this day so special is that this weekend, 1 year ago, I ran the Avengers Half Marathon in Disneyland. And I decided that this week I'm going to dedicate kind of going back, looking at that race, looking at how I felt when I raced that race, and how I really got into doing a half marathon and above for getting out there and getting exercise for that. But before we get into that, let's just talk a little bit about this week. One, I did two 45-minute runs. Today is known as Thursday. I did it Tuesday, I did it yesterday, and today I'm doing a 6. I don't usually recommend anything of back-to-backs, even though I am doing the Dopey, because you need time for your body to heal. Due to time constraints, I have absolutely no time, so it's either do these races or just take the time off. I feel okay enough to finish them. Absolutely trying to get no injuries, and if there's any concern, I slow down, get easy. And that's why I'm here today, about to go on my 6-mile run. I changed my intervals up this week. The beginning of the week, I did a 2-minute jog, 1-minute walk, and it ended up being about an 11-minute mile. And then yesterday, I did a 1-minute jog, 1-minute walk, and it was about a 12-minute mile. Those are great times. Those are wonderful times. A little bit shorter because of time constraints, because I only ran about a half hour for them both. And today will be the longer run. All right. With that being said, let's go back into the Avengers Half Marathon, and let's talk about that. So, squiggly line, squiggly line, squiggly line, squiggly line.
So let's look at where I started. On April 8th, 2015, I was convinced by my friend Chris to sign up for the Superheroes Avengers Half Marathon in Disneyland. My wife said if I signed up and was going to do it, we'd go. So I did it. Anyway, this here is actually Chris. I blame him for this and for the upcoming Dopey that I'm doing. So the minute I signed up, I was like, what the heck have I signed up for? But you know what? It's all good. I started out ridiculously slow, greater than 16-minute miles. And then slowly upwards, right before I went to the half marathon, I had a 14-minute pace. So this is how I felt on the plane. Didn't know how I was going to do or what was going on. Then I got checked into the Grand Californian and ready to roll. And it was Christmas time. Christmas trees in the lobby. Sorry about the blurred picture, but it was very pretty there. Went over and got my bib over in the expo. It was not a big expo, fairly small. Sorry, I don't have very many photos of it. And then met with our friends over at Naples, because I did not run this alone, because I was convinced to come there. It was actually a very nice dinner, very good pasta. I recommend it if you're running a Disney race there. So let's get into the race a little bit. Early morning, 5:30, got on the streets. Chris and I were getting ready. I had my Captain America ready to roll. Getting ready, getting kind of nervous. Didn't know how to expect my first Disney race. You know what? They made it at ease. There was great entertainment. My friend Olivia was with me, and she ran her own pace, and this was the start. Boom, we're ready. We're getting out there. I don't have a whole lot of photos in the parks. This is me running down Main Street and keeping my pace going. It was around a 14 to 15-minute mile at this point, running around the Matterhorn. And ultimately, you end up on the streets, and you do end up in a little bit of dirt areas. You even see some fun characters, such as Ant-Man and an ant. How awesome are these guys? It was just a lot of fun. And then ultimately, one of the best parts was when we ran into Angel Stadium. This was amazing. I don't even think you need to be a sports fan to really understand how neat it was to run into the stadium. They had local school bands playing. I got a bunch of people cheering me on as I was running through this area. And ultimately, it was just a great experience there. Now, the whole race, you start off at the beginning. You run through California Adventure, and they have some character stops, Black Widow, Captain America, Thor, and then you go into Disneyland, where they also have some of those similar character stops, and ultimately about half of this race, at least, if not more, is out on the streets of Anaheim and here in the stadium. They do shout your name out here in the stadium. It's actually kind of a big boost. It's kind of nice. The announcer's very friendly. There's a lot of people cheering. And ultimately, everybody's just there to have a good time. Now, if you also look, you see there's a lot of walkers. I am not fast. In fact, I didn't even know if I was going to make it for my 16-minute pace, but I was confident because I ran a little bit before that I probably had a really good shot at it. And ultimately, I did it. I did the whole half marathon in 3 hours and 18 minutes, which for me, I was ecstatic about. I did bonk on the last mile because, unbeknownst to me, when you're running a race, you don't realize that if you're taking the corners long, it adds up for some time. So it ends up being a little bit more than the 13 miles ultimately because I was not cutting the corners very tight on there. But you know what? You live and you learn. It was a great experience for this. My friends all ran their own paces. My friend Chris was way in front of me. Some of the other people that from my work that were joining me, Julie and Olivia, they were running with some of their friends. I also had some other friends that came from as far as Seattle and Kentucky that were running in this race as well. It was great. As you exited out of the stadium, they had military members, those dressed as World War I, and those of modern times cheering you on. Hey, look at that! Black Widow checking me out. All right. This is me crossing the finish line and finishing my first half marathon. Look at the bling! Oh yeah! I was pretty happy. I was pretty ecstatic. Celebration dinner at Napa Rose afterwards, hanging out with my kids and enjoying some nighttime, and it still had a lot of fun stuff going on. And enjoying the parks for the next day. It was an absolute blast. Had a great time. Here I am with my bling in front of the partner statue at Disneyland. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one.